Imagine a company so large that it manages trillions of dollars for investors around the world. Its name is BlackRock. But here's the part that makes this story fascinating. BlackRock doesn't own all that money. It manages it. So how did one company become one of the most powerful forces in global investing? How does BlackRock make money from other people's money? And what exactly is the mysterious technology called Aladdin that helps power its investment operation? Today, we're going inside the business empire of BlackRock, and by the end, you'll understand why its influence is much bigger than its headquarters might suggest. 1. What exactly is BlackRock? BlackRock was founded in 1988, starting as an asset management company focused heavily on institutional investors. The basic idea sounds simple. Instead of every individual investor trying to choose stocks, bonds, and other investments themselves, they can put money into investment products managed by professionals. BlackRock built a massive business around doing exactly that. Today, its business spans index funds, ETFs, active strategies, institutional portfolios, technology, and other investment solutions. One of its most recognizable brands is iShares, which became a major force in the ETF industry. And that's where BlackRock's scale really starts to become difficult to imagine. BlackRock's own investment materials cite $7.75 trillion in assets under management for its index investing business. But remember, assets under management are not the same thing as money BlackRock owns. These are client assets that BlackRock manages on behalf of investors. That distinction is extremely important. 2. The real business model. So if BlackRock doesn't own the trillions it manages, how does it make money? The answer is relatively simple: fees. Imagine you invest $10,000 into an investment fund. The fund may charge a small annual fee for managing that investment. Now imagine millions of investors and enormous institutional clients investing billions of dollars. Even a small percentage fee applied across a gigantic pool of assets can become a huge business. And BlackRock has another advantage: scale. When you manage enormous amounts of money, technology and operations can be spread across a massive client base. That's one reason scale is so important in asset management. The bigger the platform becomes, the more efficiently it can potentially serve clients. And BlackRock didn't stop at simply managing investments. It built something much bigger. 3. Enter Aladdin. This is where the story gets really interesting. BlackRock developed a technology platform called Aladdin, and despite the name, we're not talking about a magic lamp. Aladdin is an investment technology platform designed to help institutions analyze portfolios, understand risk, manage investments, and handle operations. BlackRock describes Aladdin as a platform that unifies investment management using a common data language across portfolios and processes. Think of it like an enormous financial control room. Instead of looking at one investment at a time, the system can help investors analyze entire portfolios: stocks, bonds, private markets, risk, performance, trading, operations, and different scenarios that could affect a portfolio. BlackRock says Aladdin is used by more than 200 institutions, including BlackRock itself, with clients including insurers, pension funds, corporations, asset managers, banks, and official institutions. That means BlackRock isn't only an investment manager, it is also a financial technology company, and that's a major part of its story. 4. Why ETFs changed everything. Another huge piece of BlackRock's rise was the growth of ETFs, or exchange-traded funds. An ETF allows investors to buy a basket of investments through a single traded security. For example, instead of buying hundreds of individual stocks, an investor can buy one fund designed to track a particular index. This made diversified investing easier and, in many cases, cheaper. BlackRock's iShares business became one of the biggest names in this industry, and the more investors adopted ETFs, the more assets flowed into the products. That created a powerful cycle: more investors, more assets, greater scale, more products, and potentially even more investors. BlackRock's chairman has described ETFs as a technology that facilitates investing, reflecting how important the structure has become to the company's strategy. 5. So does BlackRock control companies? Now we reach the controversial part. You've probably heard claims that BlackRock controls the world, but that statement is misleading. BlackRock manages investments on behalf of clients. When one of its funds owns shares of a company, those shares generally represent the interests of the fund's investors, not money that BlackRock personally owns. However, because BlackRock manages such enormous portfolios, it can become a major shareholder in many publicly traded companies, and that can give an asset manager an important role in corporate governance. This is where shareholder voting comes in. Shareholders can vote on certain corporate matters, including board elections and other proposals. Historically, BlackRock's investment stewardship teams have voted on behalf of clients in many situations, but the company has increasingly introduced voting choice, allowing eligible clients to participate more directly in certain voting decisions. As of March 31, 2026, BlackRock said $3.63 trillion of its index equity assets were eligible for voting choice, with approximately $851 billion committed to the program. BlackRock. So the reality is more complicated than BlackRock controls everything. The better description is BlackRock manages enormous amounts of other people's capital, which can give it significant influence in financial markets and corporate governance. 6. Why governments and institutions care about BlackRock. BlackRock isn't only dealing with individual investors. Its clients include major institutions. Think about pension funds, insurance companies, endowments, corporations, banks, asset managers, and other large organizations. These institutions need sophisticated systems to understand risk and manage enormous portfolios. That's where BlackRock's combination of investment management and technology becomes especially valuable. Its scale allows it to operate across markets and asset classes, and its Aladdin platform provides another layer of infrastructure around portfolio management and risk. This combination is one of the key reasons BlackRock became much more than a traditional investment company. 7. The secret behind the scale. So what is the real secret behind BlackRock's enormous growth? It's not one billionaire, it's not one investment, and it's not simply owning companies. It's scale plus technology plus distribution plus trust. BlackRock can create investment products, distribute them globally, manage enormous portfolios, use technology to analyze risk, and provide services to institutions. Then, the revenue generated from managing those assets can help support an even larger platform. It's a business model built around managing capital at enormous scale. 8. But there is a risk. A company this large isn't without criticism. BlackRock has faced scrutiny over its size, influence, investment strategies, corporate voting, and role in financial markets. Some critics argue that the concentration of assets among a few giant asset managers could create too much influence. BlackRock, meanwhile, emphasizes that the money it manages belongs to its clients and that its role is to act as a fiduciary for those investors. BlackRock. So the debate isn't simply, is BlackRock good or bad? The more interesting question is, how much influence should any financial institution have when it manages trillions of dollars on behalf of millions of investors? And that's a question the financial industry will continue to face. 9. The bigger picture. BlackRock's story reveals something important about modern capitalism. Power isn't always about owning something. Sometimes it's about managing it. BlackRock doesn't need to personally own trillions of dollars to become enormously important. Its business is built around managing capital, creating investment products, providing technology, and helping institutions navigate increasingly complicated financial markets. And that's why BlackRock has become one of the most important names in modern asset management. So the next time you hear someone say, BlackRock controls trillions of dollars, remember the real story. It doesn't simply own that money. It manages enormous amounts of capital for clients, while its technology and investment platform give it a major position in the global financial system. And perhaps the most interesting part is this. BlackRock's biggest advantage may not be the money it manages. It may be the technology, infrastructure, and scale behind that money. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's biggest financial empires, subscribe to Explain TV, because we're going behind the scenes of the companies, billionaires, and technologies shaping the modern world. And if you want to see how another company built an empire worth trillions, watch our next video. This is Explain TV, and I'll see you in the next one.